Happy Monday. I am Shay Wilson, thinking big, living bigger, and loving the biggest. We're talking spiritually fit today. Come on, jump on, jump on. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I got 15 minutes to smash this thing out. As usual, it's always Mondays at 6:15 Central. We're talking spiritually fit. Today we're talking mastery, self mastery, and what that looks like. I think that we talk about what does spiritually fit people do. I think spiritually fit people have a growth mindset where they're always trying to continue to learn from life, continue to give an effort, and bouncing back from mistakes, things that happen. So jump on. We're gonna roll with it, talking about mastery and growth mindset. And come on, let's get it. One of the things we always do when we start this thing off, guys, is always appreciation uh, for the moment, for the day. What are you appreciating? What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? This morning, of course, I am thankful again for this moment. I'm thankful that I got a new book in the mail yesterday. Look, books are one of my love languages. Yes, it is. I got a book for my birthday, and Lord knows I don't need any more books. But listen, I was very, very surprised. I'm super just grateful for that. I saw. Listen, you know how I am, guys. I get real sentimental. I saw a cardinal yesterday, just frolicking, playing around. Yesterday, I love that. I saw a whole bunch of synchronicities. I was like, oh, I must be on the right track. All the things. Hey, you guys, if you are on Facebook or what have you right now, and I know you are, I see you. Good morning. Happy morning. Much love to you. I can't see your comments right now. I will get back to you. Also on IG. Let's roll this thing. Today we're talking about mastery. And one of the things, and I mean mastery, when we look at talking about being spiritually fit, it was never, perfection is never the goal, okay? We first of all, we can't be that. It's always how can we be the best version of ourselves. And so when I was thinking about mastery and what spiritually fit people do, as far as what is mastery in our health and wellness, and in our finances, career, vocation, in our relationships with ourselves, relationships with other people, relationships on the job, relationships romantically. What does our spirituality look like? What kind of things? And as I look at us being spiritually fit, one of the ideas that I understand about being our spirituality, or being spiritual, is that we should be more loving. I know we got rituals and stuff. I love it, that support our practices. I meditate. I do all those things. But if I'm not out picturing with being more spiritual, more loving to people, more kinder, more patient, if I'm not out picturing with being stronger in my body and my mind, and I don't care how old we are, if I'm not out picturing trying to be healthier, to present myself in the best manner possible, because when we don't feel good in our bodies, we are distracted. When we have other things, we are distracted. So I wanted to go into this whole idea of being, what does self-mastery look like? Because that is one of the things that I'm always trying to do. How do I master my emotions? How do I get over the things that happened in the past and not use them as an excuse for today? How do I not be reduced, as Maya Angelou's quote, not be reduced by what has happened to me, but also to elevate myself? So the self-mastery piece is one thing. So I look at the fact that spiritually fit people, when you are desiring and trying to be the best version for yourself, between you and the God of your understanding, you have to have a growth mindset. And the growth mindset is that simply you believe in your ability to grow and improve. And no matter how old you are, you just believe that you can grow and improve, that you can improve yourself, that you can improve yourself in the relationships, you can improve yourself in your God, in your career, and your goals. You can improve yourself. Anybody with me with that? Anybody want to improve themselves? Anybody? Listen, is it just me? Is it just me? Because I'm always trying to learn and not blame a situation, a person, for how I move. Yeah. So let's talk about it. one of the questions I always ask myself in different things that happen is, universe, God of my understanding, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to show me in this situation? How am I needing to grow up in this? And we can always get ourselves in a tizzy and take things personal. And I do take it personal. I take it personal as the universe, as God of my understanding is trying to show me something to help me be the person that I said that I desire to be, that I said I want to be, that I want to be in this relationship and be this person, that I want to be in this career and be this person, that I want to have this kind of body and this kind of health. So what you showing me about me? That's the thing. So let's talk about it. 3 elements, and this is what I get, what I've gotten from my Positive Coaching Alliance. I'm a coach with PCA, Positive Coaching Alliance. Look up that organization; it's amazing, and it's talking about effort, the elm tree of mastery, and I love this because it just sticks with what I do every day. Number one thing is your effort. When you start talking about mastery, it's your effort. Are you giving your best? And listen, it doesn't have anything to do with what other people are doing and how they react to us. Because many times we are reacting to other people. We stop being good because somebody was not good to us. And people say, well, how do you say, why are you always good and positive? Because that's just who I am. Will you stop being good to some people? No, they may not be in my space, but I can't stop being good because that's who I am. I can't stop being a giver because that's who I am. I probably need to set some boundaries with some people, but if I'm a loving person, that's just who I am. Many of us have stopped being who we are because of how somebody else has responded to us. And come on, listen. So the first one is effort. When you talk about mastering yourself, there's an effort that you're constantly trying to be a better version of you, and not for anyone else. Listen to me, because it's you though. You doing it before you. I do what I do for me and the spirituality that I have, the God of my understanding. You hear me? My effort to be the best that I can be is for me and God, period. Now, you may get the residuals of that. You may be around me and there's logistical grace. You may say, oh man, I love being around Shay. But listen, it ain't gonna last long. I can tell you, if you overstep boundaries and you constantly being ugly. What I am going to be is patient. I can be patient. It won't affect me like that. But after a while, if it starts to be a hindrance to my growth, I will continue to ask God how I move, and the God of my understanding how I move with this, but then I move. So that's number one, effort. A person that's looking for mastery is always giving effort. And the effort is for you because you want it to be better. You want to be better. And yes, people, people want to try to get in there, and maybe they're part of your growth lesson. That's all I say. Other people are part of our growth lessons. Number 2 is learning. Always willing to learn, being teachable. Being teachable, guys. The willingness to learn. Hey, what's going on, IG land? Being teachable. Are you willing to learn? Even when it's awkward to learn, I find that I'm looking at my notes a little bit, because one of the things I realize that when you're trying to learn, whether it's on the job, whether it's a new relationship or relationships you're trying to understand. And listen, anytime you are seeking to learn, anytime you are seeking to understand, that is loving behavior. The issue is we come in with a lot of preconceived notions, how we used to do it, how we've always done it. It worked in this relationship. It ain't working in this. When you're seeking to learn and understand, that is always loving behavior. Is it awkward? Yes. Do you have to humble yourself in a lot of it? Yes. Do you have to listen to some you think, well, man, I thought I was doing it right? Yes. Yes. But remember, your goal, who you trying to be, is the best. If you're in a relationship, spouse, significant other that you want to be. On the job, you're trying to be the best employer, best CEO, best employee that you want to be. Listen, so you're going to have to ask questions. It's going to feel awkward. What happens is that our pride and ego, maybe it's just me. Our pride and ego gets in the way. But I'm trying not to let that happen anymore. because that's some places I want to go. It's places, things I want to do. It's who I want to be, and it has nothing to do with what somebody else is doing. Again, we get caught up with how somebody reacts to us when we're trying to grow, when we're trying to be better in a relationship, and they respond negatively. Again, how they respond has nothing to do with nothing. It's who do you want to be? How are you behaving? And we can say all day long, well, they did this, and so I did that. Well, then you just gave in to your character. You took a dent in your character because you decided to respond in a manner how they responded. And here's the deal. We can do that all day long with people. I'm going to give back the same energy. I'm going to give back the energy who I am. I used to think that because I went from being really, really nice is a difference between nice and kind. And then I said, well, I'm not going to be so nice. I'm just going to keep myself close. That wasn't working either because that's not me. It makes me play small. And so I said, I'm going to get the same energy they give me. That's not really me. There's too much thought into that. I'm just going to be me. And I'm loving and I'm kind. And if they don't understand that, or they don't know how to handle someone respecting them, someone giving to someone love, then I can't change up because you cannot, or you don't think you deserve a good person, or even on the job, or you don't understand. Because people because I'm so up most of the time, what's wrong with her? Why is this? And it's funny because we're so used to not being that way. We're so used to it. Now, I'm not always up, guys, not at all. But the majority of the time, yes, I do take care of myself. So the first one was effort. The next one was learning and growing and being teachable. Your willingness to learn in relationships, your willingness to stand firm in this thing and say, I'm trying to learn this, is a beast. That is mastery. Listen, when you say you have the ability to learn anything, when you put effort into it, when you say I'm willing to learn, teach me how to do this, let's stay with it. Listen, asking for and receiving help. If you don't understand asking, and I'm talking about adults now, listen, because we get in our feelings, and we adults so well, we think that we don't have to ask, and we don't have our pride gets in the way. Whether it's in relationships, this is the main thing, relationships too. We don't want to ask, how can I love you better? Because we really don't want to do what they say we need to, how to love them better. You see me? And the other thing, when we ask that, we need to know how we need to be loved better. How does that feel to us? What does that look like? I use that because that's usually the thing that is the big thing that's underlying a lot of things. Some of us need to reparent ourselves. Some of us need to be open to this thing. We keep asking for something that we are not willing to receive. So we must know, or we don't even know what it feels like or looks like. We just kind of had this esoteric idea. Come on now. We talk about mastery. We talk about being spiritually fit. Number 3 is mistakes. Learning from our mistakes and bouncing back from the mistakes. Being willing to make a mistake, guys. I remember, going into things, and I just didn't want to make a mistake, especially in relationships. I want to make a mistake. I want to be the best ever. Not realizing I'm going to make mistakes. This is a person, a whole new person, a person that is going to have different ideas of things. This sounds very, very childlike or immature. Listen, but the reality of it is that I had this idea that I could be the perfect partner, and I didn't want to make a mistake. And if I made a mistake, it was crushed. Or even on the basketball court, if I made a mistake, I was crushed. That's how I was raised. Now I had to retrain myself. Said, no, making mistakes is a great thing. Making mistakes, I can learn from it. Making mistakes does not make you terrible. Making mistakes is how you get back up from that mistake. How do you change the mistake? And some of it takes practice. You've been doing it the whole way for years. When you try to turn that ship, it's a little harder, but you got to stay with it. I can do this. That's my favorite thing. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Mastery is just that. And here's the rub. I love when I have changed the game on something, because I feel like God, the universe, my angels, my spirit guides, my cells in my body are all cheering like, go Shay, you doing it, girl, you doing it, you got this. That's it. I cheer for myself and I cheer for others. Mastery, guys, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the faint of heart. So, hey, guys, leave me comments, messages, please. Let me know. I'll get back with you. I love you guys. Have an amazing Monday. Self-mastery, effort, learning, and bouncing back from your mistakes, learning how to keep going even when you make a mistake. All right. I hope this was helpful. Spiritually Fit, we'll keep it going. Oh, next week I will not be on next week because I'll be on vacation for my birthday weekend. But I will be back the following week, which I believe is the 8th, August 8th. I will be back. All right, guys. Have an amazing Monday. Sending you love and light right now. Let's move. Bye, guys.